Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the station identification of one of Wayland City's resident YouTubers. Live in the basement. This is not MTV's remote control. And he is not Ken Ober. God rest Ken Ober's soul. This is WEML-TV, Channel 77. And now here's your host, New Bedford, Massachusetts' own Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, and it is me once again, coming at you with another episode of WEML-TV, Channel 77, episode 270, June the 3rd, 2021, 10:04 p.m. How's it going, everybody? Just finished watching Impact Wrestling. We're going to do some Impact Event Center for June the 3rd, 2021. A lot of craziness happening. We know the next pay-per-view for them is Against All Odds. So, it kicked off with the X Division title that was continuing on. The Iron Man match, the 60-minute Iron Man match was continuing on into the start of the program between Josh Alexander and TJP. And it was like the last 8 minutes of it, because it started on before the Impact BTI show on Access TV. And so, it ended up TJP picking up the when it started, Josh Alexander already had one pinfall. And then in the last 5 seconds of the matchup, last 10 seconds of the matchup, TJP picked up another victory, a pinfall. So it's one-on-one. So they go to sudden death, and Josh Alexander did pick up the victory in sudden death. And Don Callis and the Good Brothers were talking about the match between Moose and Sami Callihan to see how they're going to go about this. But a cameraman speaking of it, stooge alert, stooge alert. I'll tell you one thing. The Elite with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers causing a lot of trouble on Impact and AEW. They're trying to ruin the business, man. Let me tell you. You know, Luke Gallows thinks he's Sex Ferguson. Really? I mean, and Chad, too bad. Well, those guys were a couple of nutcases, that's for sure. I miss Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That show was fun to watch in the WWE. So we need some new faces for Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Let me tell you. So, so I think Don Callis and the Good Brothers are up to no good for tonight's main event. Josh Alexander with Petey Williams was talking about the Iron Man match and how both men fought. Eddie Edwards came and congratulated him, and then TJP and Fallah Bahh congratulated Josh Matthews, said, "Hey, we might fight forever, but a lot of respect for you." And then Scott D'Amore applauded the two guys, congratulating them on a great match. Scott D'Amore went to talk to He has nothing to be ashamed of or anything like that. You did well, congratulations. And Josh Alexander says, just line up the challengers for me next time. Even if it's another Iron Man match, we'll fight forever. I don't care. Line them up. And Scott D'Amore says, okay, yeah, go get some rest, right? And then Chris Bay interrupts Scott D'Amore, says, hey, how about my shot? And Ace Austin's going, hey, about my shot. And Trey Miguel's trying to slip a few bucks into the pocket of Scott D'Amore. Hey, well, you just slip the man a couple of bucks and all that. So each of these three gentlemen won a shot at the X Division Championship. So, and he says he's the king of the mountain. That could give Scott D'Amore some ideas. Got a hunch. When you mentioned the words king of the mountain, that was an Impact original. So it will be something else to see. And then Rohit Raju and Jake Something battled it out in a grudge match, in which Jake Something did pick up the victory after putting Rohit Raju through a table, after Rohit Raju threw a chair at him and didn't affect him. And then the former Big Cass, W. Morrissey, tells D'Amore he wants a match against Rich Swann. He said, and then Scott D'Amore says, you know what, that's funny you should say that, because I'm thinking about making that match right away, because Rich Swann says he wants a piece of you. So there's that. W. Morrissey is other known as Big Cass, and you can't, he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Rosemary did cut a promo. I think she wants to face Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship, but Havoc seems to have something to say about that, and Havoc says she wants to face Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship. So right now, and Deonna Purrazzo, well, later on, Deonna Purrazzo. Rich Swann and W. Morrissey had no match because Morrissey attacked Rich Swann from behind during Swann's entrance, and it got to the point where officials and security came out to try to separate these two. Willie Mack got involved with a steel chair, trying to get W. Morrissey out of the ring. So there's that, and then the match group. Excuse me, I'm getting tired. On the matchup and against all odds will be W. Morrissey and Rich Swann going 1-on-1. And then Rachel Ellering was getting ready for her Knockouts Tag Team Championship match with Jordynne Grace against Fire and Flavor. And Tennille Dashwood and Caleb try to talk to Rachel Ellering and join forces. Jordynne Grace interrupts, and Rachel Ellering goes, "No, I'm ready for. I'm so glad to be ready for this." And so, both ladies walk off and leaving Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. Excuse me. Oh, goodness sakes. Hangman Charlie right now is doing a 12-hour podcast. If you're going to try and go for it, challenge you, go for it. I'm not, I try to stay in as long as I can, but, anyways. So, Brian Myers was talking, was a little documentary talking to Sam Beal and helping him how to be a great professional wrestler and wearing a shirt and all that. Then Gia Miller interviewed Deonna Purrazzo, and she's upset that she may have to defend her Knockouts Championship against Rosemary or Havoc, and she doesn't look too happy about that. The Knockouts Tag Team titles were on the line. Fire and Flavor defending against the team of Ellering and Grace. And it was a great matchup. And then Fire and Flavor did pick up the victory in the end. Sheesh. I want to get through this. Okay? I want to get through this. Man. The reason why I don't pause or any of the stuff, because I want to see the real me. You know what I'm saying? So Sami Callihan decided to cut a promo on Moose about his upcoming matchup against him. And then Don Callis tries to talk to him, tries to talk him out of it or something like that. I don't know. Excuse me. So, and, Callis tried to talk to him and all that. And we saw a familiar face. The former Steve Cutler, who was going by his real name, Steve Macklin, who is dating Deonna Purrazzo, will be coming soon to Impact Wrestling. So it'll be very interesting to see Steve Macklin. I can see him and James Storm probably go at it one-on-one. You never know for sure. So that is something to have. But he'll be going by the name of Macklin. He'll be going by his last name. Fire and Flavor decided to bug Dean Moore about wanting competition for the Knockouts Championships. He said, "You want competition? I got a couple people that are not very happy with you." Kimberly and Susan came out. Susan was upset at them. Said, "You did this to me and all that." And he said, "Well, against all odds, you're facing them for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship." And then Susan's like, "We're good." And walk out. So Susan, very angry businesswoman. You don't mess with Susan. You don't. So, and they had a match at Cody Deaner with Violent by Design, went 1-on-1 with Satoshi Kojima making his Impact in-ring debut. As you know, Kojima will face Joe Doring against all odds. He picked up the victory over Cody Deaner. Then they try to get involved in the match with Eddie Edwards chasing him away. And shakes hands with Kojima, lifts up his wrist. So, looks like Kojima and Eddie Edwards joining forces. I respect the fact that Eddie Edwards wants to learn about Japanese strong style wrestling. And, much respect to Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards is the man. And believe me, I am very appreciative of what he's doing. And then Moose cut a promo on Callahan and down. Callis is trying to stir up the pot, talking to him. Lots of trouble. Callis is nothing but trouble. I think Von Baskin's right one on Callis and Neely are nothing but trouble. They're trying to make trouble for everybody in Impact and everybody in AEW. They're burning the candle at both ends, and they're gonna get burnt in the end. You can't, it's gonna be nuts. Say the least on that. Violent by Design cut a promo on Kojima when he faces Joe Doring against all odds. We seem like DK wants a piece of Violent by Design, a little mind games between Crazy Steve and Black Taurus. And I didn't know that Crazy Steve was blind. I didn't even know that in real life he's actually blind, which is really, really crazy, to say the least. 'Cause I didn't think he was blind. Like how he does moves and all that. He's unbelievable. You know, it's Crazy Steve. What a story he has. So there's that. Moose and Sammy Callahan had a great matchup going. Was a slugfest. But the Good brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, decided to ruin that. And attacking both Moose and Callahan and Don Callis. And Kenny Omega shows up. And Kenny Omega is attacking both competitors. And the Elite was celebrating in the back until Scott D'Amore says, okay, you know what? Since you guys done so well, and I think I'm going to do this, and you're not going to like this, I'll make it a three-way against all odds for the championship. So Scott D'Amore made it a three-way between Kenny Omega, between friggin' Moose and Sami Callihan. So I think Moose and Sami Callihan will try to make it a mission to get that title away from Kenny Omega. Omega's been causing a lot of trouble, and I'll tell you one thing: Omega is gonna get itself nipped in the bud for it, and it's unfreaking believable. So, it's unfreaking believable. So, that's it. That's all the time for Impact Wrestling. We know also tomorrow night at 10 o'clock will be AEW Dynamite. Once AEW Dynamite, and like I said before, I will watch it on Saturday, give a report on it, Event Center, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. And just found out on Rant and Rave for the 8th of June. It will be Maddie Rankowski will be Miss Reality will be joining us. Later date will be great if I know she and will be. It'll be great to talk to her and see what she's all about, because I try to follow most of the wrestlers that I like on Twitter and all that. It's very difficult following 5,000 people or more. And it is, so it'll be something to talk to her and see what she's up about, and what her what her designs in her wrestling career could be. We'll see. So, with that being said, it's all the time we have on the show. Episode 270 of WEML-TV Channel 77 is complete. Impact Event Center for June the 3rd, 2021. I am Eric Lima of WEML-TV Channel 77. This is episode 270. It is finished, and I am out. Until next episode, bless out.